Well, good evening, everyone, or good morning if you're watching this here on Monday morning. Just wanted to let you know that, first of all, I want to say thank you to the Detroit Burger Bar. Got me a shirt from the Detroit Burger Bar. Just so you know a little bit about the Detroit Burger Bar, I'll show you something kind of interesting about them at the Detroit Burger Bar. If you go there, you will find that you can get yourself in a colossal burger eating contest right here. If you can consume this, and they do not actually have a time limit on it, I was able to do it, and then you end up getting yourself a shirt like this. Detroit Burger Bar. I'll try to flip this around. You can see the back. There you go. And it's, of course, located in Detroit. They have a couple of locations, at least. I know we have more than I'm aware of. But anyway, just want to say thanks to them. And so that's on the Detroit Burger Bar. Now we're going to talk about Sofi. That's why you're here. And first of all, I want you to know I'm not a technical professional advisor on the finances. And so you can just take this with a grain of salt if you want to. But if uh, if you can, just go ahead and let's get this circulated around a little. Hit the button down there, and it takes just a second to do it. And that way, other people can pick up on this information I'm about to share, which I hope you will find valuable and useful. But again, I'm no financial advisor, so uh, never dive into a stock. I always suggest going in moderately. As long as it continues to rise, keep building your position. You can buy a little bit more, invest more, as long as it's going up. And that's just my way of thinking with it. So let's start off over here and take a look at this volume. First thing you can see here is it's quite high, and I want to compare this with volume in the past. So let's go over here and take a look back to mid-May. You can see right down here around May 15th when the price was at its low of 445. Look how high the volume was on that day on that huge sell-off. And this was the day of the earnings release. They beat the street and they went down 20%. And that's when I got on the horn on YouTube, started my channel up about SoFi and started broadcasting time to buy. And so now let's look at the volume here. You can see it's been pretty low, but it has been rising. The prices over here on the left. You can see the opening prices here over the far left, the high that it reached, the low that day, and then right here would be the closing prices. So as we're looking at it, you can see the volume starts to build up here as the price is beginning to rise. Then all of a sudden, this guy comes out with a hit story. Price drops back down. Then you can see here what's been happening with this volume lately. And this is the reason I'm pointing this out. As this price is now springboarded from the 711 to 760, 776, up over 8. Look at the volume here the last few days. Okay. So I think this is important. 56 million, 60 million, 66, 84. So as this volume begins to build here, and these prices starting to getting up here. Let me show you why I think that this is important. If you look at this chart, first of all, here, the reason I'm posting this video right now is because what happened at the closing, they were able to get the price right down to this 200-day. Now, here's what we're looking at. You zoom in here. The green line is the 200-day moving average. You can see how nicely it's been moving up. And then I have some other lines in here. My gold line is a 50-day. My blue line is 45 days. And then the purple line you see right there, that's a 10-day moving average. But and so you can see each and every time that this price has approached or hit that line, it has always made a move up. So this is why I'm telling you right now about it. I believe that this is getting ready to springboard, and now I'm going to show you why. Now, if we come back here to the main page on this, look what they're saying right down here, double moving average crossover. Well, what this means is that you've got this shorter term averages like the short 10-day and 50-day and so forth. They're moving over the 200-day moving average. And this happens quite frequently. Sometimes it happens every day on the 1-day chart. Sometimes it happens more than once, 3 or 4 times on a 1-day chart but here, if you extend the term to 5 days or longer and you have these crossovers, they can mean more. So what's important about this double crossover here, I'm going to show you now, is because it happens to be occurring right here on and this happens to be, if you look up at the top, the 1-year chart. That's a very long term to be experiencing a double upside crossover And what happened here, and this is why I think that we're on the verge of a major breakout. Do not take my word for it, because on Monday it could be attacked down, it could drop like a rock. But the reason that I think that we're going to see this surge is based on what I saw here on the takedown when the price went from 20 all the way down. So I'm going to move over here a little bit. First of all, I want you to see how low the volume was when you're looking at this date over here, which was July, August of 2021. And the price had gotten all the way up to $20 here at one point, and then as it began to tumble, look where the volume really started to increase. If you can see the price over on the right, when I put my cursor right in this range, it's around $14, and all of a sudden, look at all of this massive red. I'm going to back out so you can see even more. All this coming in here. These are short people shorting the position from here when it was in the $14, $15 range all the way down. So look at this massive amount of volume right there that's come in and shorted this position. All right, so let me make sure I'm doing this right. I'm going to put this down for just a second. Yep, I got my picture up there, and yeah, I think this is all good. So now we're going to put this back up because I don't want to waste any time. But look at what's going on here as this starts to climb now, with all of this volume that took shares and sold them in this range from 14 all the way down to 4, which is a $10 range. Now we're starting to move back up very rapidly, and all this volume here is going to begin to lose money. And this is going to affect their decision to stay in it from these shorted positions. And right now, you can see where my cursor is here. The price was 823, and that's about where we're at this stage over here. So my thinking is, and you can look at all this green starting to come in right at this point. So this is why I believe that we're on the verge of a major breakout. And you can, again, take this for what it's worth, but when you look at this 5-day chart and you see the fact that it's never broken below that 200-day average, and right now you can see it just touched on it, and in the after hours it actually came up a little bit. So I am presuming, and now this is just my presumption, and it's based on that chart that I was just looking at with you that shows that longer term of 1 year. And I think that this right here is an indicator we're going to see a bounce off of that 200-day average. And that's just my feeling based on what we've seen in historically here. And so I think believe it or not, tomorrow's Monday. I believe the stock might possibly open over $10 a share. I don't care what the naysayers say, and that I might be out of my mind. But the truth of the matter is, what I saw happen here on the 1-day chart, if we go in and look at this last day on Friday, I want you to take note of something here on this 1-day chart. What you can see is the price actually hit the high that it's been for 52-week high of I think it was around 880, and then it started to drop. But the volume on this, folks, there was a lot of volume involved in getting this price down to where it did, and you can see it hit a low here, 614. Well, they were going for 613, of course, but anyway, whatever the case may be, it really was a lot of volume, I believe, just to work it down to get in before what is going to be the big surge. And I want to be able to tell you a couple of other things. One thing that I learned from another video that was on YouTube, and the person who posted that video pointed out the black pool volume was massive, and that there was some major buying going on by what he presumed was institutions. I tried to contact him and ask that I use part of his information. I didn't hear back from him, but one thing that he did do was he did a great job. Let's see if I can get over here and find him. Let's get onto YouTube, and pardon this if it takes a little bit of time, but I'm going to see if I can find this guy on the video that I just posted on. And well, I'll get back to it anyway, but let's just get over here to my we'll do it another time. Maybe he wrote me back now. Let's see. Notifications. Man, let's see if this is him. Fundamentals. This might be the guy.
We have a 16-year-old Riley here.
Nope. Well, that's not the one. Somebody else is another one, a group of people that are covering SoFi here. And So, and these guys are very good too. They're a great bunch of guys. And but anyway, I think that we're on the verge of a takeoff here. I think this thing's going to lift right on off. I do like to show one other thing here, a couple actual. One is look at all the institutional holders, 613 holding here, and they are holding 37% of the shares. So I think that that's very strong. You can see down here, Vanguard Group, BlackRock, they got some massive, massive holdings in this, along with these other 611 institutions. So that's important, I do believe. And as we can see here, one other thing I'm going to show you is if you do a Google search on this, you'll find something interesting. That the CEO, Anthony Noto, he just buys and buys and buys. He's been buying. And at this point right now, believe it or not, I think he owns 6.4 million shares. And if you look down here over all the times he's bought, you can see here that this was dated May the 6th, bought 30,000 shares there. If you look down here, December 13, he disclosed he bought 5 million worth. And if you look here, you can see here that he's purchased more on June the 1st. I tell you, it's just amazing that he just keeps in this. And I do think that at this stage of the game, he has, like I said, I think it's what I said, $6.4 million. I think I can do a search on that and see if it pops up. There it is. Yep, yes, he owns about 6.4 million SoFi shares. And I think another thing that's kind of cool is just put in here is wife buying. And it says here that they disclosed that his wife bought some too. And I don't remember how much it was. I think it was about $270,000 worth of SoFi stock. And so, anyway, let's see if I can find it right here. Yep. Here it is. Yeah. She bought 19,833 shares and she paid $6.54. So she's doing real well. And so is Anthony, I'm presuming, since he was buying it when it was down in the 470 range. So, anyway, and anybody else who happened to have gotten in on my advice, I appreciate all the people that went over and looked at my videos. And I've posted quite a few videos here about SoFi. And if you go back and look over my videos here, you can see that I started back on SoFi when it was priced right around, and I've done quite a few. Let's see. Yep, 806 views on this one here, and that was 3 weeks ago. So, hey, for all of you that checked out this video and gave me all the thumbs up and all of you, I really appreciate it. And I appreciate it giving me a thumbs up right now. And hopefully, like I said, this will be helpful information for you. But from what I'm just showing you on these charts, especially those longer term charts where you're looking at the 1 year and you see that kind of a crossover on a 1 year term, well, it's usually, I think, on that type of crossover, and just it's a massive amount of volume here we're looking at. And as I said one last time, look at all that volume during the time it was priced between $15 down to this price. And I am under the belief that it's very, very possible we could have a mega spike just like we did with GME or AMC years ago. And this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. Well, look forward to your comments. Thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this with your friends if you do. I hope you find this helpful. And if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, of course, the next time I come up with some other stock for you to keep an eye on. I'm still a firm believer in the other one that I'm invested in, which is at this time I have Carnival Cruise and Norwegian Cruise Lines, and also a BMR. I would suggest you take a look at that stock as well, because I do believe it has a lot of potential, a lot of inside ownership. Like 67% of the shares outstanding are owned by inside. That's BMR. So look at that one too. That's it. Hey, hope you all have a great trading week. And as I always like to suggest, I hope that you have a very profitable and a very happy time ahead of you. And you can actually help me out if you want to support my channel, because I'm an original artist with music, and I'm published and I'm online on all the music sites, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, and Tyler Self, SELPH. And if you subscribe to my channel and give it a listen once in a while, I think you'll enjoy my music. It's with created with people from all over the world for decades now. So uh, I have over 100 songs, original songs of my own here on YouTube, and over 60 that are available online. So, again, I thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you found this helpful. And like I said, I hope you have a prosperous day, and most of all, a very healthy day. Bye bye now.